All right. I don't know if anyone can hear me. It's the first time going live. Let's see if I got this right here. Any technical difficulties? Let me see here. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in chat or something. It's my first time. Should be some light music going on in the background. Yeah, I figured it'd be some crazy stuff going on right now on TCGPlayer with the 10% or more cash back this weekend. It's really driving some crazy sales. So I thought it'd be interesting to just kind of go live, go through, see what kind of craziness is going on there. So again, let me know if you can hear me. There we go. Okay. I got to get used to the chat delay. So yeah, things are going a little bit nuts. Thanks for anyone who's tuning in here. But let's go through a few booster boxes from Scarlet Violet here and see what is going on, because this cashback deal here is already driving up some crazy sales volume. You can see here surging sparks. Already 200 boxes sold. That was yesterday. That's not even counting today. And we're already seeing, we're seeing almost $215 a box now. And that's just surging sparks. It's wild. I don't know if anyone saw Rudy's video today about Paldea Evolved. That one was shocking. I don't know if that one's almost like a buyout. Like, let's see here. That one was crazy. Look at this from yesterday. That's crazy. 284 boxes sold. That's wild. Wild, wild, wild. Let's see what else is out there. Bubble Mew, too. I don't know if anyone was looking at Paldean Fates. Everyone knows I love Paldean Fates. Bubble Mew is going wild. We always get a change. For some reason, every time we come into a page here, it changes that chart. But yeah, 300 bucks a pop. And I'm going to do a video on this one. Let's see here. Evolving Skies is going to be the first $1,000 Sword and Shield box, probably by the end of the weekend, if it keeps going at this rate here. So we're seeing, look at that, 11 boxes sold yesterday alone at over 900 bucks a pop. So that's going to be, yeah, that'll be the first Sword and Shield $1,000 box. I'm going to do a separate video on that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I do believe that there is a box probably now in Scarlet Violet that'll hit that that'll take that $500 to $600 place that we've seen with Evolving Skies. Probably Surging Sparks in the short term. Prismatic Evolutions. I don't know what the heck's going to happen with that. That one's, I'd love to see a product go up in value, but that one's getting, like, how do you even approach that at this point? Like, if you're an investor, collector, cracking packs, what do? You hold out and hope you get it. You can get boxes cheaper than what we're seeing now, because it's just wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, I think there was a lot of money waiting in the wings this weekend to pounce on this sale. I think the market's even hotter than we realize. I mean, it's 10% back. It's not like it's a decent chunk of money, but it's 10% store credit. It's not cash back. So it's not like it's, instant money back in your hands. It stays in TCGPlayer's, pockets at the end of the day, technically. But there was quite a bit of money. Let's see what else is out here for boxes. Let's see here. Let's go to best selling. Yeah, so we looked at Paldean Fates. Everyone knows I love that one. Twilight Masquerade. Again, look at that volume. one day. Look at that spike. That's wild. You know, I don't have any kind of data to look at, you know, previous cashback events, but this to me seems like this is a bull market for sure. Hands down, it's a bull market. Twilight Masquerade is a fantastic set. That one's easily going to be a $200 box in the future. Let's see what else we got here. Paradox Rift. I've talked about Paradox Rift before. Everyone knows I love this one. Look at that volume on that. 80 boxes sold. And so I think the floor on Scarlet and Violet boxes, we're looking at probably 120 bucks a box, possibly by the end of the weekend, if Scarlet and Violet base can get to 120, which I think it can. Not that it deserves to, but it's my own opinion. Let's see, booster boxes. We are at $110 market price. Lots of volume with that as well. Again, that one, I think a lot of that's not, I don't think that's organic. I think that's people looking at the Sword and Shield base box and saying, oh, this is going to do the same thing. But these are drying up. I mean, these are old. Get under 400 boxes on TCGPlayer. Yeah. So I think by the end of the weekend we could hit, yeah, maybe that's another video. $120 floor for anything in Scarlet and Violet. Obsidian Flames is above that. Penalty Evolves above that. Paradox is just crossing that. Temporal Forces, that's another one that's fantastic set. So what did everyone pick up? Let me know in the chat. What did you pick up Black Friday? Did you find any good deals? I haven't seen anything that was blowing my mind. I saw we did get some Prismatic Evolutions release at like 3 in the morning from like Target, but it was I was watching and I still couldn't get in there and get anything. So it's just futile almost at this point. Yeah, some Temporals. These are drying up too. Temporal's done fantastic. Almost 7,000, but I think that's the highest sell rate in the last year. Almost 7,000 boxes sold on TCGPlayer. These are drying up. That's another reprint candidate. All of these need reprints. There's like over a half dozen sets that need some form of reprints here. Yeah, a bunch of these sold. So, I mean, it's pretty much to the point where there's nothing cheap in Scarlet and Violet. So now they're just going to be fighting with each other, and it's going to come down to what's actually good versus what's, you know, that's part of the problem when you get into a bull run is it's not just what's good. It's you get people that are scalping, short-term investors, right? They're gobbling things up that are cheap. They don't care whether it's good or not. They're just gobbling it up because, you know, the hype train says, you know, hey, this is a great investment. You can make money. And no one's really thinking about, you know, the whole game plan of, okay, well, you got to buy product, you got to store the product, you got to hold the product for a long period of time, you got to deal with the bear market, you got to deal with bull markets, and then you got to liquidate it, you got to deal with fees, all that stuff. That's why I put out those Investing 101 videos, because I just don't think people are thinking about it. So Derek in the chat said, I picked up a ton of Tyranitar and Napoleon tins from Walmart. And yeah, you know, I didn't jump on those. I was concerned they weren't going to have Evolving Skies in them. That was short-sighted on my part. Even if they didn't, it's not like the pack price was terrible. So I still should have gone it. I still should have went for it. I got a bunch of Evolving Skies sleeved packs. So I got that emotional side of the investment covered, where it's not, you know, I'm not like looking to chase after it, but yeah, it's crazy. And Lord of the Worlds, Japanese V-Star Universe for 85 in the UK. Yeah, V-Star Universe is it's great. I'm not a huge Japanese guy. I just don't. I feel like it's all speculators and investors. Like there's just not as many natural, organic, you know, interest in opening packs and collecting it. That it seems like it seems like a bubble. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know enough about it. I certainly don't know enough about it. But yeah, this cashback. This is just and just remember, this is the beginning of the weekend. We have all weekend here. But what's going to happen is these prices, because it's you know, all this volume that's coming into the market's drying up all those cheap boxes. So you're going to start hitting some prices here where Lord of the World's going to rip it. That's where, hey, you got to rip. You got to rip. You got to use your own product, so to speak. Yeah, all this volume coming into the market here and drying things up. We're going to see some, I wonder if we'll start hitting some price resistance here as we start hitting higher prices. Like market price on Temporal is 140 now. So this is going to be nothing. 120 is going to be the floor. Maybe we get even higher by the end of this weekend. This is just a lot of money moving into Pokemon, obviously Magic as well. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing, but there's a lot of money moving.
So now the question, like, so I'm looking here. So what is the recommendation for a buy? What's the cheap buy? And with Paradox Rift moving up, I mean, I would say base set. It doesn't check my box for do I like the contents, which is, I think, I think that's part of it. I think a lot of people don't ask themselves, so you actually like what's in the product? Like, if you like it, that means the market's gonna like it or may like it, right? Let's see. Derek Page got 2 cases of prismatic ETBs for 700 each. Kind of bad. 70 each feels like a win, but that's, yeah, I think 70 bucks a box may not, and that may be the next price target. If we don't see an absolute dump of these come to market soon, that's probably the next reasonable target. The question is, and I've been saying this, the question is, is the rug getting pulled out from underneath us? Are they on purpose just holding back here? Are we going to get another reprint? Even if we get a reprint, if the market's still hot, it's going to gobble it up. We've seen very, very conservative reprints here in the last 6 months. Very conservative. The concerning part's going to be, okay, if they start seeing the demand signal of the market picking up and drying up these boxes, they have to be cautious about reprinting. We don't want another COVID era situation where stuff just gets absolutely dumped. Now, the people that have been through a bear market know, hey, if you see an absolute dump and the market starts getting boxes under $100 again, you know what to do. You know what to do. We've seen these high prices before. You know what happens with Pokemon. That's your entry point. But it scares away a lot of the short-term people. And then the short-term people dump their stuff in the market for a loss, and then investors like us, people that know better, they swoop in and they pick it up. So, but yeah, I don't know with Prismatic, and then we got the Rocket set as well. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I think the days of waiting after release to buy anything are over in the short term. I think you got to go pretty deep right off the bat. Lord of the Worlds, it's crazy. The markets are so different. Europe might have been way over allocated. Yeah, there's definitely some arbitrage opportunity potentially. It's just moving the boxes around more for singles. There's definitely arbitrage opportunity for singles. Boxes are just too expensive to move around. Yeah, it is crazy how different each market is, for sure. Agent Crypto question: is it better to have more products of a set released over time or constant reprints of a few products from investors' perspective? Let me think about that for a second. Is it better to have more products of a set released over time or constant reprints of a few products? So from a production standpoint, from the Pokemon Company's standpoint, it's much harder for them to do smaller numbers of reprints. And keep in mind, when we see product come back to distributor and then back into the market, right, we don't know if it's a reprint. There's people who know, but the market doesn't really know. It could be a restock. It could be stuff that was held back that was pushed to the market. So restock, reprint, we assume it's a reprint, but from a production standpoint, it costs them a lot of money to do a reprint of a product, right? They have to create there's a lot of setup costs in reprinting products. So they don't want to, from their standpoint, they're going to pay more per card, per pack, per box to produce a small number of something versus a big run. So it's in their interest to do bigger numbers of reprints. However, when you have multiple things needing reprints, something's going to get left behind. I think something at this point, out of all the sets in Scarlet and Violet, there's 4 or 5 that need reprints. We need 151 reprints. Paradox, Temporal, Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks need reprints. Prismatic's not even out and it needs a reprint. I'm not saying we could use a reprint and be nice. We need a reprint. Like, this is going to be, you're not going to have as much future growth as you could if you could have gotten this into more hands. Like, for me, I'm a 5 to 10 year investor. I want nostalgia. That's what I want. Nostalgia is the most powerful force in any market, especially when it's associated with an IP. So I want that nostalgia. The more, like, 151 hasn't gotten into enough people's hands. That's just my opinion. So yeah, Derek, Fusion Strike, I saw that. Sword and Shield is definitely benefiting. Lost Origin went up a little bit as well, and it had been a little, dare I say, stagnant on market price for Sword and Shield. So we're definitely seeing some upticks, and those are drying up hard. Like Fusion Strike, I think there's less than 70 boxes on TCGPlayer. Now remember, depth of market, There's a lot more boxes out there than what we see on TCGPlayer, but that's definitely a signal. So we may be, and part of that, Scarlet and Violet prices are so much higher that I think the money's kind of like bouncing back and forth. Like, all right, I get $200 for Surging Sparks. Am I going to spend $200 on Surging Sparks, or am I going to go to a Fusion Strike that's a great set. It's got years on it now at this point, and it may be due for another leg up. That's typically what happens. You see the stair-step approach where a product drives up in price and sits there for a while, and then some event happens, whatever that is, and it steps up again. And I think we're probably on the cusp of that. I think we're definitely on the cusp of that, because we're seeing it with Evolving Skies here. Again, Evolving Skies, for those who missed it, looks like it's going to be the first Sword and Shield box at $1,000 a box. What's crazy with this one too, I mean, this is the only reason this isn't higher is because it's $1,000, right? We're not talking about a $300 box. There's 155 of these. There's plenty on the market. There's actually a decent amount of supply. It's so expensive that it's just people aren't buying it, or people are buying it. That's a hard swallow, $1,000 box. So because you got to think to yourself, $1,000, that's a booster box of that's a case of booster boxes, right? So what's your upside potential? If I spend $1,000 on Evolving Skies, it could run up to $2,000 in a couple months. It could take many, many, many years. And Scarlet and Violet's so hot. What's my upside potential on $1,000 in terms of a box of one Evolving Skies box, or a case of something from an upcoming Scarlet and Violet set? So yeah, this is crazy times. Let's see what else we can find for anything that's run up here. Where's my search? Let's see how 151's doing here. So these are the Pokemon Center ETBs. Ridiculously good product. Absolutely. Yep. So that's yep, people are buying in on that. Now let's see what regular 151's doing. We need a reprint on 151. We absolutely need a reprint. Look at the volume. Look at the volume on ETBs. Constant. Over $100 a pop. That's wild. And I've said this before, but I think they're making the conscious effort to just print other stuff. I mean, we're seeing. I think we saw that one. Why would they leave money on the table with the ETBs? That makes no sense to me. No sense to me. But we've seen booster bundles, poster collections. We've seen almost everything else. So I wonder if that's their way. I've said this before. I think that's their way of getting packs into the market, but not dumping packs into the market. Just my opinion. And I think it makes sense. If that's the direction they want to go, instead of reprinting that primary product, maybe I think that may make sense. That may be the way to go. And only time's going to tell as we get into the next 6 months here. There's something's going to have to give a reprint. So Agent Crypto again. So the answer is having new products of a set being released over time, then constant reprints of a couple products. It benefits investors more. Not sure I understand the question. That's probably just me here trying to parse through that. But my approach with investing is I've gotten burned going all in on a product. I've gotten burned on that before. So my thing, Final Trade talks about this, casting that wide thin net, right? You have to look at how much capital can you spend per month on Pokemon product, right? Hopefully after you've make sure all your other debts paid off, you get an emergency fund. You don't want your emergency fund should not be tied into printing cardboard, right? After you figure that out, hold on, what did he say here? After you figure out how much you can spend, how many sets can you buy, right? Yes, if you went deep on Surging Sparks, it paid off. There have been products that we thought were going to run up, or we thought were going to be short printed. And if we went all in on that, we'd be stuck with a product that we can't turn for a profit, right? So, and I've done this before. I've done this with other TCGs, and I haven't lost a ton of money. I just haven't made enough for me to want to liquidate it, right? So now what's the opportunity cost of dumping everything into one set? If that set doesn't pay off, now I might miss out on my next set. I'm not going to go into debt to get into the next set. So you have to figure out, okay, how much can I spend per month? What does that, equate to in booster boxes? And then make that decision. That's part of having a plan. And that's one of the Investing 101 videos I'm going to do is, what's that plan? You have to have a plan. You have to stick to it. And when you deviate from the plan, that's when that's when we're emotionally investing. And that usually bites us in the butt. So Agent Crypto, 151 does not need a reprint. That's the short-term thinking part of it. I know what you're saying. Yeah, if you have 151 ETBs, you don't want a reprint. You don't want your box price to go anywhere. I understand that, but we also, what we're seeing here is at $115 a box here, that tells me the market wants the product regardless of the price. The market wants it, and the market can take a reprint, and that reprint is, if we see any regression in price, that's just an opportunity to dive in again and get more product. That's how I see it. But again, it depends on your time frame, your horizon. What is it? Is it 1 year? If it's 1 year, yeah, you don't want to see your box price go down. But if it's 5 to 10 years, any pullback on this under $100, then that's an opportunity to jump back in. Lord of the Worlds, and it's interesting, both crypto and Pokemon investing are seeing a bull run at the same time. Yeah, there's definitely the Venn diagram of alternative investments definitely overlaps heavily with printed cardboard and crypto for sure. I don't have a ton of crypto. I got a little bit. Again, just I like to, if I think something is worthwhile, I don't go crazy into it. I don't want to be huge into alternative investments. I think Pokemon is different. I don't see it as a fringe alternative. I don't see it as a fringe investment whatsoever. So yeah, so let's see, what else do we got here? Let's see, what do we have for market for other stuff we can look at here? Let's see, Paradox Rift I talked about, Scarlet Violet Base I talked about. Let's see, I want to get into Lost Origin. We talked about this one earlier. Yeah, this is great run up here. Now we're at $244 a box for, yeah, this has done great. This is a fantastic look at that run up here. Look at that volume. I mean, compared to what we've seen recently, this has been very, very, very stagnant, and we can see we're starting to get a leg up here. And that's going to be the same for, I think Evolving Skies going over $1,000 a box is going to bring more people back into Sword and Shield, I think. Let's see what else we got here. Another question from Agent Crypto. Question: what's the better buy, 151 UPC or 151 PC ETB? That's a good question. Pack price plays into it. Storage. I mean, that's one of my things I'm running into now is my storage space. I don't have it. Like, I've stopped picking up regular ETBs because I just can't. I can't. Like, I got the $20 Lost Origin ETBs from Target the other day, but I just can't keep. I don't have the storage space. I don't want to get to the point where I'm just putting them in random spots of the house too. And then, I gotta, again, we talked about risk in investment 101, right? Physical risk is a big one that, again, people do not think about, but it's super important. So let's see what else we got here. eBay needs to bring back their eBay Bucks program. I didn't know they had one of those. Steel Scissor. I've been thinking about buying ETB I can get my hands on as long as it is under 30. Got some Stellar Crown ETBs for 25 a piece the other day, putting them back. Yeah, if you don't have a ton of money to spend on booster boxes, ETBs are good. They stack really well. Booster boxes do not stack well. ETBs, if that's what you can spend, that's a great way to just kind of dollar cost average. You pick up an ETB where you can. $25 for an ETB is good. Stellar Crown's a good set too. I think it's a great set. We're going to do a tier ranking video soon where I kind of go through and tier rank each Scarlet and Violet booster box from an investment standpoint. So we're gonna do that soon. Sword and Shield base set, Lord of the Worlds. Yeah, let's take a look at that, because that has run up. That has run up a little bit. I do not have any of that. That's, I think, one of the only products I don't have. Booster box. Wow, look at that. 20 of those left on TCGPlayer. Wild. Yeah, $332 market price. Let's see here. Let's look at cards. These product type cards. Yeah, there's some decent stuff here. That Snorlax is cute. There's just nothing of... This is when... Okay, so let's talk about another concept here. When, over time, when a product gets to be 3, 4, 5 years old, the booster box itself starts to separate from the contents of the box. And this is a great example of that. You don't have any... There's no chase cards here. Right? Your top card is $36, right? This is what we call the alligator mouth. The box price deviates from the contents of the box. The box itself is the investment. It's rare, right? We just looked at this. There's 20 boxes on TCGPlayer. The box itself is becoming rare, and so the contents start to not become. It starts to deviate from that completely. So if we look at what's another one that's doing that, Darkness Ablaze is not a great set. I don't think it's a great set. And yeah, these are, is that right? There's none listed on TCGPlayer? Oh, it's because I have near mint selected. Oops. $50. So does that mean did I have near mint selected on here? No. Okay, so that one's accurate, yeah. So Darkness Ablaze is starting to run up a little bit, but that's one that's just not well loved from a set standpoint. There's nothing there. Let's look at cards here. Yeah, nothing of crazy value. I mean, I like the VMAX Charizard, but there's just the market's there's nothing special here. So let's see. Crazy Lost Origin Hanley has 168 boxes in the market now. That could drop. Yeah, Lost Origin. I definitely think we're on the cusp of another run up in Sword and Shield for sure. Yeah, Agent, that's a good point on Hidden Fates. That's what happens when let's look up Hidden Fates here. That's what happens when the demand signal from the market hits the Pokemon company, and they're a company at the end of the day, right? They want to make money. They don't want to leave money on the table. They work for shareholders at the end of the day, not for us, and they want to make money. So when they dump to the market, there's a cause and effect that happens there, right? And as a company that makes collectibles, the cause and effect of you dumping onto the market a product that the market can't handle, they can't handle in that volume, that's where it hurts. And it doesn't hurt just in the short term for that product, it hurts the confidence in the overall market too, right? People remember that. And we've seen that in other TCGs like Magic, where companies mishandle the printing, the overprinting, and the greed, and it hurts them long term. And when they fix that and they correct that ship, they right that ship, it changes things dramatically. And it's a hard line to ride. I don't envy that. That's not easy to do as a company, because you're answering to shareholders. They'll fire you. The board will fire, as CEO, the board will let you go. You have to appease them, and you have to appease collectors, and that's very hard to do. And you're trying to predict the market, and they can't. I mean, I would think like a Prismatic Evolutions, like they know they have a hot set on their hands, and that they would print it accordingly. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want a hot set. And this shows like, hey, we can create hot collectible products that go up in value over time. And as a collector, that's what we want. It's just it's not even just an investment thing. It's collecting too. I want to go through my binder and see cards that I love, that look really good, and that have value, and then I can liquidate for in the future to get other cards and trade. That's the trade. The trade part matters. The value of the card is what matters for trade. Let's see what else we got in the comments here. 5-star collectibles have been trying to buy Fusion Strike and Brilliant Stars ever since they came out, just like the Stacking Silver. We should try a box every couple months, give or take. I doubt this roll. Yep, I fully agree. I mean, you have to be okay with products going down. You have to, and the only way to really be okay with it is just to live through it. You live through a bear market, you live with it going down, and it's just part of it. And I got numb to it many years ago when I did traditional investing. I still do traditional investing, but just to me, eventually, I'm not smart. It's not like I know something that other people don't or whatever. It's the experience of living through it. And eventually you get numb to it, and you see it as another opportunity. Like if I really love the product and it's discounted now, I'm going to buy more product or a stock or whatever that is, right? And you just have to get numb to it. You have to, sometimes you just got to stick it in your closet and just ignore it. And I track everything with Excel sheets and everything, because I like to stay on top of it in case something moves that's hot that I maybe want to liquidate. Maybe I have a bunch of it and want to get rid of a few of them. So I like to keep track of it, and I like to see it growing. But again, that's because I've gotten numb to it. But for most people, you buy it and just stock it away. Don't even look it up again. I can't tell you how many people stocks, Pokemon cards, like it starts going down and then they sell them. Like, what are you selling now for? Like you just locked in your losses. Like, double down. And the other part of this, when people are investing too, is when you aren't in a good financial position to be doing this, and something changes in your life, now your printed cardboard becomes your emergency fund. I can't tell you how important it is not to dip into Pokemon because your life is something went off the rails and you got to pay for something, right? Yeah, it could be something massive, and you want to make the decision. You want to be in the driver's seat about when you liquidate a product. You don't want the life event to force you, right? Because now you're gonna have, number one, do you have to do it quick? God, I hope not, because this is not a quick thing to liquidate. Man, if I needed to turn and burn my entire collection, it would take me. It's a function of how much of the potential profit I want off of that box versus the time I have to liquidate. I don't think I could get rid of my collection in a week, and if I did, I'd probably have to take a 50% shave versus TCG. That's how bad it is to liquidate products. Again, not to scare people. I have a whole investing 101 video coming out on liquidation, because it's another thing that I don't think people realize, like fees. Oh my God. I sold a couple boxes today. The fees they kill you. They kill you. And you just, I even have my spreadsheet set up to take the fees out so I can see what the actual profit is. And it hurts every single time. Agent Crypto, question, is Pokemon Company intentionally short printing in an SV era to create hype and get consumers used to the new retail? It could be. And they'd be playing 4D chess at that point if they did. Because they just have to, like, even Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade was when the bull run started. When that started to go up, that was when it started, for sure. And now it's just spilling over into every set. And again, some of it I think is people were ignoring it. People were ignoring the artwork because subjectively, my opinion, Scarlet and Violet artwork is getting better every single set. And I think that's the crescendo right now is Prismatic Evolutions. So yeah, they could be. I mean, we're not seeing a glut of reprints of anything, right? They are absolutely looking at reprints, and what we're seeing come back into the market for. We saw Paldea, we saw some Obsidian. I don't know if there's a restock or reprint. It's been small. It's been very, very small. That or the market is just so good. I think it's organic demand. Like, yes, you're pulling in lots of investors. You're pulling in lots of people. Like, you start getting the Roadies of the world and everyone start driving people into this, hey, I can make money. You Surging Sparks, right? You could have bought Surging Sparks at $100 a pop, sell it for 200 now, right? That's beautiful. I mean, people see that and they're like, yeah, I want to do that too. And I think it brings a lot of people in, but I just also think there's a lot of organic demand. It's good product. I mean, you can't look at Prismatic Evolutions and say that's not utterly fantastic. Tell me a set that visually looks as good, not only visually, contains Pokemon as good as Prismatic Evolutions with that kind of artwork. There's nothing out there like that. And that's what it's like scaring me at this point. Like, I don't know what to tell people. Do we just go all in and spend $100 on an ETB and look like geniuses when these run up to like $200 post release on a stupid ETB, like on a specialty set? I don't know. I don't know that there's any number of boxes they could dump on the market for Prismatic that's going to quench that demand. I think if they printed Prismatic Evolutions, even if they doubled like a Paldean Fates or a 151 in terms of number of boxes on release day, I still don't think it would be enough. Like, you're never going to see below $50 a box again on Prismatic ETBs. It's never going to happen. I'll say that right now. Let's see what else we got here. What is the most undervalued item in set right now, in your opinion? It was Paradox, but the market seems to be turning on that and driving that up. And again, I think a lot of this is Paradox is a decent set. It's not a fantastic set. It's a decent set. But again, I think you get a lot of people that are just looking at, hey, what's the cheapest box in Scarlet and Violet? I'm going to get that. Everything's gold right now. Everything's gold regardless. But the thing is, it's good product too. So it's not, I don't think we're in absolutely nuts territory yet. Like, people buying, like if we saw Paradox Rift like jump up to $200 a box, it'd be like, hey, something's wrong. Like, that's too hot. It's not worth $200 a box. Not yet. What's your opinion on Shrouded Fables from Quantum Kai? Hey, Quantum, I've seen you comment on some of my videos. Shrouded Fable is not a fantastic set. However, there are a few good cards, and there is always a market in Pokemon TCG for cheap packs. Always. When you can get down to like $2.50 a pack, that's always good. We always want to see that. So anyone who's in chat, if you don't mind, give me a like if you can on this video, just to help us get some folks into chat here. We got 37 people. That's pretty good. First time out. Audio volume, everything okay? Can you guys hear the music in the background? There's like a little lo-fi music in the background. I thought it would kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. I don't know if it's coming through, or if it's distracting. Let me know. I can always turn it off. So yeah, Pokemon Center ETBs are on a whole nother level for Scarlet and Violet, especially when they have good promo cards. Just look at Obsidian Flames with the Charizard. Beautiful promo card. I think they were printed different volume. Either the demand for, I haven't looked at the data. It's hard because we only see about a year back on TCGPlayer. But it seems like they were short printed, or the just demand for them is so high. I'm not sure which is which. But yeah, they're good. They're all good. I just think that having that stamp promo makes all the difference in the world, for sure. And let's look at those and see if there's anything. Let's see, Obsidian Flames. I spell tonight. Let's get into Obsidian Flames here. Let's see, Pokemon Center ETB. Yeah, wow. That has run up 113% in a year. That's a good return. I got one box. I got on release day. Just one. Now you know, that's a lesson learned on that. If it's got a good promo and it's a stamp promo, because here, think about this. So from anything from Sword and Shield, all those Pokemon Center ETBs, there was no reason to crack them. They had one extra pack. The artwork most of the time was similar or the same versus the regular ETB. There was no reason to open them. Now you have a stamped promo in these that in some cases goes for quite a bit of money. So I think even if they printed more of them in Scarlet and Violet, which I don't know that they did, there's going to be less of them available from a sealed standpoint because people are cracking them for the promos. There was no reason to crack the ones from Sword and Shield. So I think these are, I think moving forward, and if there's still some that are cheap, Pokemon Center ETBs for anything in Scarlet and Violet, especially if you like the set, if you like the promo, goodbye. Just to be careful, Chase. Like I wouldn't buy Obsidian Flames at 160 bucks a pop. Under 100 I would have, but yeah. Let's see, what do we got in chat here? Cool channel mate watching from down here in Australia. Do you like Temporal Forces as a set? Hey, Silver and Hello. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I like Temporal. I think Temporal's good. Let's take a look at it. Temporal's a great set. I would rank Temporal, let's see if we're doing, yeah, it's B. I'd say it's a B tier set. Let's take a look. I think the artwork on the ETBs kind of fell flat, but yeah, you got the Iron Crown, beautiful card. Ghastly, I still shoot, that keeps going up too. I keep meaning to pick one of those up. That's a beautiful card. Yeah, Iron Leaves, Iron Crown, you get the Raging Bolt. Pretty decent. You get decent value too here. Look, you have $58 card. You get some good value in here. So yeah, solid set. Let's see here. This Near Man keeps turning on for me. And these have sold very well. 60, yeah, we looked at this earlier. Almost 7,000 boxes in the last year for Temporal. And look at that price. That price is going up nicely recently. Oh, beautiful curve. That's what you want to see. 15% a year. So I was buying these when these were cheap. And this was really right at that time, right before Temporal. Twilight Masquerade, I should say. When things started to change. And then people were like, oh, okay, Scarlet and Violet's pretty good. It's a good era, and it's just getting better. I mean, Prismatic's just blowing my mind. What kind of artwork we have? I mean, the thing with Prismatic is now you've raised the bar so much. What's going to happen to Team Rocket if it doesn't blow you away in previews? Like, it's going to have to blow you away. Like, that's a high bar. That's a high bar. Let's see. What else we got in chat here? Oh, you got access to Pokemon Center ETBs. Was that just not a thing and now they're selling them there? That's a good change. That's a great change because there's going to be some good ones. Imagine what the Team Rocket ETB could look like. Black box with the Rocket logo. Oh, that would be sick. Zemi, hey, we see the Bubble Mew rising quickly. I expected the Paldean Fates ETBs also going up in Europe. It seems to go over or lower. I mean, to me, that's an opportunity, man. If I'm seeing Paldean Fates ETBs for cheap, I'm picking them up. I've been saying it for a while. I was picking them up $30 a pop. Paldean Fates is, I've said it before, I'll say it again, from every rooftop I can get on. Yeah, the Bubble Mew is fantastic. You just look at it, you have a specialty set that has it's almost a $300 card now, right? Yes, you get a $300 card, and then you still have a $150 chase card in the Charizard for a specialty set that you can still find these for about $50 a pop. That may be disappearing now at this point because the market's finally realizing it. But we've seen them at Target as recently, I think it's last week, at $50 a pop, and I'm a buyer all day at $50 a pop still. These are drying up. This is a reprint candidate in the future. Just keep that in mind. But there's the contents. This absolutely checks the box of it's a good looking box. It has beautiful cards in it, multiple beautiful cards, not even just one chase. I would call that 2 chases, 2 SIRs. You have the baby shinies, this Pikachu. I stupidly cracked. I pulled that on release day and I sold it. I don't know why, because it's a beautiful card. I got to pick one up again. I think I have one of the Pokemon Center ETBs. Absolutely beautiful Pokemon Center ETB. I just wish they changed the artwork. I don't know why they do this with that, but you get the Mimikyu promo card, which I think is it's a good mid-tier promo card. But these are great. But yeah, that's a phenomenal set. I would be buying that all day. If it seems cheap, the singles are going to pull this up. These singles are going to pull this up to, I would call this a $100 booster box, regular booster box. Probably by February, unless Prismatic just absolutely dominates everything. The problem is with Prismatic is people are just going to get priced out and they're going to go look at the other stuff in Scarlet and Violet now. They're just literally going to get priced out. People are waiting right now because it's not all hope is lost yet. But at some point in December, people are just going to start giving up, and either they're going to pay $100 an ETB or they're going to go and get other stuff. So $100 is too rich for me for that. I love the set, but that's a little too rich. So, let's see what we got going on in chat. How do you feel about cards like the Blaziken VMAX Alt Art or Evolution Alt Arts being stagnant in price when others like Giratina and Gengar Alt Arts are going up? Yeah, I don't know. I think there's such a difference in art from Scarlet and Violet to Sword and Shield. Like it's so different. We saw it in the base set, right, with these scene cards. Let's see what else we got here. I wish they went harder with that Mimikyu promo. I think it's a decent promo. I really do. It's not bad. It's not the best, but that Charizard promo in Obsidian Flames is my favorite. I'm priced out of it now, though. All right, what else do we have that is... Let me get back to my search window if I can find it here. Sorry for flipping through these too quick. I think I lost my search window. All right, let's see... Keep the questions coming. And again, let me know anything you picked up, any deals you got. I haven't seen anything crazy. It's been pretty. It makes sense. It's kind of a bull market. I would call it a bull market at this point. So I think people there's just not a ton of deals to be had, and people are still. I mean, that's what you want on Black Friday, right? You want deals. Pokemon Center. Let's take a look at the Pokemon Center ETB from Surging Sparks. See how that's doing. Yeah, so I think there are 229 of these on TCGPlayer. It's selling, but it's just expensive. It's expensive. But I mean, how do you know? That's a beautiful artwork. That'll do well long term. And I think you get was it the Magneton promo? Which I thought looked good. Thoughts on Celebration set? You know, I didn't really get into Celebrations. It's a small set. And I think that was another one that just the demand signal for printing it was just too high for the market. It was just it was an inorganic number of boxes on the market. Paldea Evolved, I've talked about this one. Pokemon Center ETB. What's the I can't remember the promo in here, but I think it's good. 27 of these on TCGPlayer just running up. Again, I think if you like the promo on any upcoming set, get the PC ETB. That's completely changed the game, having the stamp. Completely. Stellar Crown. Let's look at Stellar Crown set. It's been out for a little while. It definitely got overlooked. This definitely got overlooked because of Surging Sparks. Not Temporal. Twilight Masquerade was really pumping at the time. But this is a good set. I fully enjoyed opening this set. You got a Squirtle, you got Bulbasaur, the Terapagos EX is a beautiful card. Let's go high to low here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's a good set. Terapagos Hyper Rare is good. It's good. It's a good set. I'd say it's a B tier set. The booster boxes have done pretty well. Yeah, this is actually almost 6,000 boxes in only a few months is actually really good. Really good. And this price has held up well. I mean, remember, a year ago, we had boxes under $100. There was multiple sets in Scarlet and Violet under $100 a box. Multiple. And now at the end of this weekend, there will be no set in Scarlet and Violet under 120 bucks a box. That is a very, very solid market. Is Silver Tempest still being carried by the Lugia art? Yeah. Let's take a look at that. That's the last one still in stock on Pokemon Center, I think. I can't spell tonight. I got a new keyboard. I can't spell for crap. And remember, we got this trainer gallery too here. Yeah. Yeah, that's a steep drop off in value. But we do have the trainer gallery here. Always forget to look here. Yeah, you get the Rayquaza V. There's other stuff here. There's some decent stuff here. Silver Tempest got printed hard. It did. And it's the caboose, but it's a solid set. I was picking up Silver Tempest boxes again probably about a year ago, under $100 a pop. And it's the only thing stopping it from going higher at this point is the fact that it's still in stock on Pokemon Center. But I think we're probably a few months away from that going. Quantum Kai, Silver Tempest is not out of stock unless it went out of stock in the last couple hours. I checked a couple hours ago. It's still in stock in Pokemon Center, but it can't be for long. It's gonna dry up. It's a decent set. It's a good set. But again, you got to make your choice. Like, what do you do for, you spend 150 bucks? Do you go Scarlet and Violet and look at the artwork there? And this you definitely you started to see a transition in artwork here towards the end of Sword and Shield. Let's see. Poke Grindin'. Thank you for the tip, man. Appreciate it. Definitely. I appreciate everyone in stream tonight. Yeah, we got 22 likes, almost 50 people here. That was pretty good for a first stream. I thought I was just gonna, just kind of throw it out there, see if anyone joined in, hopped in. So yeah, I appreciate everyone coming in. Hopefully your Thanksgiving, if you're celebrating, hopefully it was good. Hopefully your Black Friday, if you got any good deals. I stayed home. I stay home on Black Friday now. Too crazy. Agent Crypto Lost Origin has the best set identity outside of ES. Yeah, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, both those. Which one? Let's push this to chat. So which one? What's the next Sword and Shield box to hit 500 bucks? It's a race between Fusion Strike and Lost Origin, right? Which one? Let's take a look at the galleries for both. So cards. I do not love the Giratina. It's busy. Same artist for the Magikarp, I believe, right? It's just too busy for me. Way too busy. I just like how, I don't know. I can't explain it. Chilling Rain's old. I think that's what's going for Chilling Rain. Chilling Rain was supposed to be Evolving Skies 2.0, right? Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to Pokedata because we can get everything in one shot here. I don't know if you guys are used to using this site. This is a fantastic site to quickly look up. You can look up total set value. And it's not as up to date as... What were we looking at? We were looking at Chilling Rain and Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. It'll take a second to load here. Chilling Rain, you get the Blaziken. It just looks childish to me. I mean, I would rather take the rainbow artwork. This is showing its age from an artwork standpoint. This is absolutely showing its age. It's not bad. I understand why it was popular at the time, but I still think am I gonna spend over $200 a box on this, or is there better opportunity in Scarlet and Violet? And I think there's better opportunity. I think there's more upside opportunity. I have some Chilling Reign, of course. I'm not gonna not use it, but Fusion Strike, that Gengar, I don't know if you've seen it in person, but it is beautiful. And I wanted to get it so bad. I saw it at my local game store, and I wanted it so bad. It's a beautiful art. It's whimsical. The Pokemon is the main focus. It's gorgeous. Yeah, Fusion Strike, this is a good looking set. You even got this cheaper Gengar if you want Gengar exposure. Yeah, this is a good set. I like that. Lost Origin, again, Giratina. Yeah. Fat Pikachu. I have one of these. I love it. Lost Origin is good. I think Fusion Strike wins the day, though. I think Fusion Strike, I'd put my money there. Look at the values, too. Look at the value distribution. $400 card. You get an Espeon. Pulling it up on 200. You have multiple cards here. That, to me, that's so important, having multiple cards of value in a set. From an opening standpoint, from a collecting standpoint, I just want that. I don't want Evolving Skies is great, but you one massive chase card, and it's that or bust. If you're spending $1,000 and you're hoping to crack a Moonbreon, that's it. Like, there's nothing else. There's no chance of you ever recouping even 50% of your value of your box. It's crazy. It's just, to me, that doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I think Fusion Strike would be my choice here out of all of them. And again, it's weird. Chilling Reign, the total value of cards in set is higher. I just don't. This doesn't appeal to me. It's just my own personal taste. This is not. I don't know. Yeah, pull rates matter. Pull rates matter tremendously. Pull rates on like an Obsidian Flames. I talked about that recently. Pull rates compared to current sets of Scarlet and Violet. The pull rates are that's what slows cards gaining in price. We can see that with actually I'm working on a video to look at some data regarding pull rates and how. Let's talk about it a little bit now. Let's look at the Pikachu from Surging Sparks. A card like this having a massive chase in a card like this. There's only 50 of these on the market here of any. Yeah, there's only 40 near mint of these on TCGPlayer. This, from an investment standpoint, if you collect boxes and you want to hold them for a long period of time, yes, seeing the booster box hit $200 a box is fantastic, but having a chase like this Pikachu that's so hard to get. I think this is to get this specific SIR is 1 out of every 1,000 packs. To get this specific SIR, this is what drives booster boxes to be open. This is what drives ETBs to be open. And that depletes the population of sealed booster boxes out on the market, which if you're an investor, you want that. That's what you want. Never mind the fact that the boxes you have could contain this really expensive card that obviously is going to drive up that value. It creates scarcity of the box. Long term, it will create scarcity of the box. So I think I figured, I'll let you in on this. I think I figured that just the number of Pikachu EXs here from Surging Sparks, it took 10,000 booster boxes to get to the number of Pikachu EXs that are listed for sale and have sold on TCGPlayer. That's just TCGPlayer. So that's wild. That's a lot. And that's what we want to see. If you're an investor, you want less boxes in the market, right? Now, naturally, over time, your total population of booster boxes is going to diminish, right? People crack them, people lose them. They put them in their closet and forget about them. This is what we want. You want chase cards that cause people to crack, like Evolving Skies, right? There are people who have been on literal personal quests spending thousands trying to chase it just to have the experience for cracking it. That's what you want as an investor. Vincent, do you think we misjudge Pokemon like Raging Bell, Iron Crown, Walking Wake? I mean that people in the future will like them, because if yes, Temporal is going to be an S tier set. I think compared to what we've seen in Surging Sparks, in Twilight Masquerade, I think I don't think Temporal is going to be an S tier set. I think it's a good set. I think people are realizing that now as well, but I don't think it's top tier. Just my opinion though. Yeah, Temporals get good artwork. I think almost everything is, and there's no, like, what set is bad? What set is absolutely bad in Scarlet and Violet from an artwork standpoint? Like, base set is not my favorite, but I don't think it's terrible. Like, there's good stuff to have everywhere. There's nothing, none of the boxes in Scarlet and Violet should have ever been below $100 a box. Never. And I realized that. I don't want to pat myself on the back. I don't want to say I'm some savant or anything, but I learned, you'll learn when you go through the bear markets and you see the opportunity to buy boxes at basement prices. I was buying Fusion Strike at like $80 a box. And because it was just the market was a bear. It was undervalued because people weren't, there was too much negativity. I was buying Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, I've seen this before. I've seen this play out before. That is the experience and the wisdom that you get having done something for a long enough period of time that you can then use to capitalize on when the market turns again. I was picking up, it was all, a lot of it was TikTok too, but again, I was just capitalizing on it. No one was buying them. That's why they were selling them for, I was getting Paldea Evolved under $100 a box, base set for like $70 a box, Obsidian Flames under 100. It stopped right as soon as Twilight Masquerade started to go up. That's when you started to see all of it disappear. And again, I don't think you'll see for the next, maybe for a long time, you're not going to see anything. I don't think you'll see any box come out under $120 a box, regardless of the set. Again, unless we see reprints, unless we see some reason not to have confidence in what the Pokemon Company is going to do with reprints. I think the reprint question is probably the biggest question right now. They are obviously capable of putting out absolutely phenomenal sets. Prismatic Evolutions is already blowing people away. We still have more reveals to come. That's going to be wild. We literally could have ETBs for a specialty set hit. What? I mean, unless we get a huge dump, could they hit $150 a box on release day? Who knows? It's going to be wild. So the biggest question right now, they can put out phenomenal sets. Twilight, everything in Scarlet and Violet was decent. We had some really good sets that were underlooked. People are now realizing they're good. Twilight Masquerade's fantastic. Surging Sparks is fantastic. Stellar Crown's good. Prismatic Evolution's going to blow people away. So unless that high bar, they can't reach that again in future sets in Scarlet and Violet, it comes down to reprints. That's what I'm waiting to see, is how are they going to manage these reprints? Are they going to dump on us? Are they going to just kind of slowly put stuff in the market? We saw that with Obsidian Flames. We saw it with Paldea, and it was perfect. The market absorbed it. It was perfect for the time. I don't know if that means they're holding back on the reprints. Maybe it's a restock. Maybe they did the reprint and they're just putting a few pallets out on the market. We have no idea. We'll never know that. But whatever they're doing, keep doing it. And the question is, something's going to get left behind. There's going to be something that needs a reprint that's not going to get it, which is, again, we can argue about whether that's good or bad at the end of the day. But something's going to give with reprints here, and it will be interesting to see them navigate that. That's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. I've worked in the print industry and set up time and set up costs for printing of this kind of volume. It's immense. It is not easy to do. It's not like, hey, I want Surging Sparks. I mean, they're ordering this stuff like 6 months out, ordering reprints, even though they own the company that prints product. It takes time. They have stuff that's already in the queue, stuff that's already in preparation. It takes time. It's not a nimble thing to be done unless they've already printed. Maybe they held something back. It is possible, but we don't know. Whatever they're doing well. So no, Matt, I really hope Blooming Waters is the end of 151. I don't know. I think the market can't. Maybe that's what they're doing. We saw it with Crown Zenith too. We saw them hit. They did do the ETBs multiple times, but then they stopped, and then they did secondary ancillary product is what I call it, like just random stuff. Excuse me. We saw Sea and Sky, right? Got a tickle in the throat. Gotta crack the Diet Coke. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we saw it with Sea and Sky, where they did a second, some other big product that they could move packs into the market and not hurt the market. And I think that makes a ton of sense. And that seems to be what they're doing with 151. It seems crazy not to reprint the ETBs, but that's what they're doing. So if we see that again, if we get into February of 2025, we see Blooming Waters come out, we see no more rumors of 151 ETBs. I think it would be clear to say at that point that they're doing this on purpose, that they're doing the ancillary products on purpose, and they're avoiding going back to booster boxes and ETBs, maybe. So, let's see, what are the questions we got? I pulled the Pikachu. I didn't rush to sell. Glad to see it's going back up. Yeah, I pulled one of these Pikachus as well. Probably one of my highlights of my pulling career, which isn't saying much because I don't crack a ton. I crack like an ETB or two for each set. So that was I was hyped. I was like sitting shocked in the car. It was actually a car crack. I don't know if any other degenerates out there just, they go into an LGS, buy an ETB, and then crack it right in the car. And it was funny because I was going to go home and crack it with my kids. And the deal with the kids is whatever they crack, they keep. So it would be, hey, you got a $500 card. Do you want to sell it? Do you want to give it to dad? I'll trade you for something cheap. But yeah, I was just sitting there shocked. I had to like double check on TCGPlayer. I was like 99% sure. Like, I know this Pikachu. I've been looking at the market. I've been oogling the card for a while, but I had to double check it. But yeah, that's one I'm keeping that one. It's just that's just a fun one to hold. So it's not all about dollars and cents at the end of the day. For some people it is. Some people, they don't, they just do this for the money. But I've said this before. I think I couldn't imagine holding product like this for that long without falling in love with it. And that's actually what happened to me. I started into it as, hey, I did this as a kid. I played the cards, I played the game, I collected the cards, fell out of love with it, came back into it just as an investment standpoint, and I've just fallen in love. I love the community. I think it's yeah, you got your butt heads and everything, but the vast majority of people are super positive, super positive. They're just, how could you not? Like, you're in it just for, cute images of pocket monsters. Like, it pulls a certain people into the community. And it's just been fantastic. Absolutely love the community, love the artwork. I love what the Pokemon Company does. I love that there's no, you don't have this this collector box, and then you got a draft box and a set box, and it's like, no, you get the booster box, the same booster box they've been doing forever. Like, they just keep doing the same thing, and I think that's important. It's just it's important to have that consistency. So let's see, what else do we have for questions here? Let me know if you got any other questions, any other. We'll go for another 15 minutes here, I think, and then we'll call it quits for the night. Very, very happy with the first stream. It's kind of off the cuff. Maybe we'll have to do like a weekly stream or something like that. Maybe a Q&A stream. Let's see. All right, what else do we have from Black Friday that has gone up? Let's see if there's anything else we can find. Best-selling. Crown Zenith. Let's look at Crown Zenith. I haven't looked at Crown Zenith in a hot minute. One of my favorite sets. Let's see how the ETB's doing. The ETB's just still, they printed this. Yeah, it's finally starting to go up. Good sales today. Technically yesterday. Yeah, good sales. Finally starting to go up. We've seen these. I was picking these up this summer, I think, for $40 a pop. So finally getting the love. Fantastic set to open. Oh my god, it's beautiful. The pull rates were just butter on this. Not too easy, not too hard, just yeah. This is a fantastic set. I'm so glad it's starting finally. They're just finally, hopefully they leave it alone after seeing Sky. We still keep seeing that come back in stock. But I think that's the way to go. I don't think it dumps onto the market. Yeah, great set. I think I have two of these Pokemon Center ETBs. Beautiful. So this is what I want when I have a Pokemon Center ETB. You get the regular one. I want different art. Different art. I want it to be special. And this one was. You got kind of a retro look to it. Beautiful. I'm glad that's doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Pokemon Go. I don't even want to look at it. Terrible set. Don't care what anyone says. Can't stand it. I can find no redeeming qualities about it. Brilliant Stars. I never connected with this set. I just never found anything I really loved about it. I think I got a booster box or two. And this was heavily printed too. Heavily printed. Yeah, that one actually took a dip there. Surprising. Surprising. From the chat, Conjurer, should I grade the Pika SIR or sell raw? It's you know, my thing with grading, I'm not a huge grader, but my thing with grading is it should look gradable. So the SIR Pikachu that I pulled from Surging Sparks was a little off center, so I decided to keep it to hold it. Maybe I could always grade it, you know, anytime I want, but if it looks good, yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, what's your plan? Are you going to sell it? You're going to hold it? Yeah, but guess either way, I mean, from a, you know, either standpoint, I guess it makes sense to grade it. You grade and display it. It's always the way to go. Let's see what else we've gone over. Lost Origins, Celebrations is not my favorite. What else are we missing here? Astral Radiance. We haven't looked at Astral Radiance today. Is that doing anything? Yeah, that's been pretty stagnant too. Those are drying up though. You got a few boxes of that. That's a mid-tier set, I would say, from Sword and Shield. Quantum Kai, on the question regarding the PSA 10, I'm not sure. I'm not a huge grader, so I'm not in the know on. I'm not like Pika Pika Papa, who's all in on the grading. It's not my big. The only graded card I have, to be honest with you, is a gray felt hat SGA 10. That's like my prized possession. But those 10s on those were so easy. So easy. Quantum, what do you think about the Brute Bonnet from Paradox? That is not ringing a bell. Let me look that up. Oh, that is a good looking card. Paradox Rift, right? Yeah. Oh, that is pretty. I like that. That's my kind of art style. I like the funky arts, especially when it's in foil. In person, it just makes it pop. That's a good looking card. I like that. It's cheap too, real cheap. I don't typically spec on cards. I'm just a collector on cards. But yeah, that's a good looking card. I like that. I like that funky, just out there. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, I would pick one of those up. That's a good one. That's where some of the magic is in collecting too. Is some of those just unknown cards. What was one of them I was looking, like that Ghastly I was looking at, like it's under $30. That's a beautiful card. Like that could be a $50 card in my mind, easily. Easily. Let's see what else we got here. What has gone up? What has benefited from this weekend? I think, let me know what you think. I think I'm going to do a recap video on Sunday night just to show some of these products that have run up hard in cost, in price over the weekend and benefited from this from the sale, because I think there's going to be quite a few. I mean, we're already seeing Evolving Skies. That could happen tonight. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to put a video out on that one for sure. $1,000 box that's a huge milestone in Sword and Shield for sure. We looked at Silver Tempest again. I think that's a good set. Heavy hitters, these have dried up. I have there's two versions of this. I have the original version that has Evolving Skies in it. Battle Styles. This is one. Ooh, yeah, that's actually got hurt bad recently in price. Parabolic there. That's nothing. Again, that's not one I connected with. Hey, Chanfree. Yeah, we're looking over the TCG bonus buck sale that's going on this weekend and what it's doing to the Pokemon market. So we're just kind of going through, answering some questions, looking at stuff that's maybe going up in value and benefiting from the sale this weekend. We're going to go another about 10 minutes here and then call it for the night. And again, we're just looking for anything that's kind of benefited from the sale. I mean, it's still going on this weekend, but what's happening is now all those kind of low-hanging fruit boxes are getting dried up. So that could slow things down. But I think a lot of people were waiting. For this weekend. And again, it's not cash back in your pocket. It's money to spend at TCGPlayer again. So, and the other part of this is there really hasn't been, at least anything that I've seen, anything else in terms of Black Friday sales anywhere, especially on booster boxes. So there was like, if you were waiting for that, that didn't materialize either. So it's like, oh crap, I gotta go get what I can. I might as well get 10% off or 10% back from TCGPlayer. But TCGPlayer typically is not the cheapest place you can get booster boxes, if you know. TikTok, even TikTok without coupons, is typically somewhat cheaper than TCGPlayer, for sure. As long as you're buying from a reputable seller. I'll say that every time. TikTok, there's always too good to be true deals, and you got to check and see if there's reviews. You do not want to be the guinea pig. Hey, thanks for the kind words. I mean, you know, just anyone who's on the stream, who's liked, commented, subscribed to the channel, just everyone's been super positive, and I love it. You get a few knuckleheads, but everyone's been so positive. It's, you know, this is uncharted territory for me, and everyone's just been, the feedback's been awesome, and it keeps you going. It really does. And hopefully, I think, you know, my goal, there's so many channels out there that are trying to drive hype, and I get it. It's entertaining. I 100% get it. I watch those channels too. I watch Rudy, watch all the big channels, and I understand that's how you drive views, you drive content, and you get clicks, and you get ad revenue. I understand that. But it's just, I think for me, I've been through the ringer. I think there's a market for more, I guess, a mature way to talk about this kind of stuff, which is, hey, we're not going to FOMO over things. We're going to be adults. We're going to create a plan, and we're going to stick with this long term. Not for the scalpers necessarily, you know, not for just the investors. This is for people who love the product. They want to invest in it, maybe make a little money in the long term, like really long term. Yeah. So that's what I'm going for. And it seems like I've kind of struck that balance. I did not expect to hit 1,000 subscribers in a month. Did not expect that. Maybe a year. So, but I think that's gonna do it for tonight. First stream, I think, successful. Next time I'll kind of plan it a little more in advance, so it's not kind of last second. But I think this was great, and I love the feedback in the chat and the questions. And I hope everyone has an awesome Friday night. And with that, we're gonna see you on the next one. See you on the next video. Thanks again.